What's in a memory? Let us see. Is a memory a dream? Is it our imagination? What is memory? My fondest memories of New York City are of Central Park. There's that wonderful fountain. Just sort of sits, gargoyle. It's, I don't know. It's very gothic, maybe. Who knows? But in the winter, they drain it, and you can do things like dance, try to imitate what you see in the sculptures. People come and they have picnics. Maybe not so much in the winter, but you know, they just come and feed the birds and just fly, dance around New York City. I mean, there's just so much about Central Park to discover. It's kind of like a hidden treasure, and every time I'm in Central Park, I find that there's some aspect of the park that I haven't discovered. Like, well, just as you leave that fountain, it looks like a fortress, actually. Like, I don't know, something Asian or, you know, from another country. And when I'm there, I'm just sort of inspired to do some Tai Chi or martial arts or stretch or dance around. But yeah, it's if you've ever been to China, it kind of, I'm wondering if it was designed after some Asian empire. The Great Wall of China in Beijing, the architecture when you're going up those stairs, just, you know, like sort of around the corner from the fountain. It takes you to, I mean, anywhere. You could be anywhere but New York. But on like a sunny day, I love to just go to the park and, I don't know, discover. Climb the walls, climb the stairs, watch people jog and skate and horseback ride. And every now and then there's like a carriage with horses, and there's a certain area like just above that fountain where it's almost like a stage, and you know, every now and then there are performances that take place, but there are other places in Central Park where, you know, you go down a set of stairs and there's like little hidden lakes and beautiful trees, especially in the fall. I love Central Park in the fall, people jogging and, you know, people watching is a very interesting thing to do in Central Park. There are paddle boats that you could rent, and I don't know, just sort of watch the day go by. Then there's this really beautiful bridge. I'm not sure of the name of the bridge, but it's a great place to come and take photos and bounce from one side to the other. Not many people do that, but that's something that I would do because, I don't know, you would look at that bridge and just think of it as an ordinary thing that you would just cross to get to the other side, but I see this bridge and use it as an opportunity to stretch and perform and be me in Central Park, free. And although, you know, like, it's New York City, often when you're on a bridge in Central Park, you can, I don't know, I just like rolling on the banisters and freaking people out. The tourists, they never know what's going on when they see a typical New Yorker just being free to be who they are. On the edge of the bridge, there are like nice little planted things. I guess I wouldn't call it flower, but maybe they're plants. Then there is that wonderful place called Grand Central Station. Yeah, Grand Central Station. It's grand, and it's central, and it's a train station. And they have that clock that just keeps reminding you that time keeps on ticking into the future. There's lots of hidden gems in Grand Central Station. There's this one area where you go down in this tunnel, and if you're standing up against the wall and you whisper, if there's someone else on the other side, they can actually hear you. And no one, like standing in the center of the dome, can hear what you're talking about. It's the coolest thing. I don't know how they built this thing, but I'm assuming they built it with that in mind. But yes, it's I guess it's a very special creation for Grand Central Station. When I'm at Grand Central Station, I like playing on the stairwell. I normally get yelled at though, because it's not something that you're supposed to do. But it takes something as ordinary as a set of stairs and makes it extraordinary. But speaking of stairs, whenever I'm at the art museum, I love just, like stretching in front of the people and freaking them out, reminding them that it's New York City, and you never know when somebody's going to just inhabit the railing and stretch on the stairs. What else would you do at an art museum but inhabit the banister and just sort of try to become one with the stairs? Balloons flying in your face. Then there's that man who freed the slaves, Abe Lincoln. You can run into him on the street in New York City. That's the perfect example of the unexpected. But the great thing about New York City in the fall is that there's that Macy's parade. And they blow up the balloons not far from Central Park. And they're preparing to have that great big old Thanksgiving Day parade. Unexpected people might try to photobomb your video if you want to film in New York City near big balloons that look like monsters and stuff. Then there is Times Square in New York City, center of the universe. Times are shitty, but I'm pretty sure they can't get worse. Because time, what is time? Time is something that just keeps on ticking, ticking, ticking into the future. And when you're thinking about time, you might want to think about today and realize that today is actually yesterday's tomorrow. And tomorrow never comes. It's something very interesting to think about, because if you're thinking about time in this way, basically time is all in your mind. I think it's just like an imaginary thing. Oh, yeah. One thing about time and Times Square, there's those steps. When you go to TKTS is a place where you can get discounted tickets in New York City. That's another thing that I have fond memories about, because you can get half-price tickets to a Broadway show. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go and see a Broadway show when I'm in New York City, The Color Purple. And, You know, I have friends in the show, so I'm going to be backstage. This time keeps on ticking, ticking, ticking into the future. Speaking of time, I think it's time for me to get back to Iowa City because the time is always now.